Tell us the story. Come on.
I don't have any stories.
You have a lot of stories. Come on. Tell me about the time that you ran off the road at Virginia's party.
I almost went with you that. That was the one party I almost went to, and then I saw my death. Because I'm like, when you came back and you said that the truck was crushing the passenger side, I was like, Mark invited me to that, and that could have been me, and I could be dead.
Yeah,
but I stayed home.
We were going to roll someone, Philip Holland, maybe?
Sounds like
that sounds about right.
So Chris Autry decided he was going to ride with me.
He ended up in 2 wrecks that night.
Yep. He got into mine, which I was just going down the gravel road and came around the curve. And
that's a terrible curve.
And I started back the other way, and it started sliding. So I was like, oh, well, I know what to do. I'll just turn the wheel a little bit and correct. And there we go, sideways. It's like, I see trees in front of me going that way. I don't know what to do. Boom. And so I wound up, we broke all the windows out on that side. And
was that the Blazer?
That was the Blazer.
Yeah, you were in the fence.
God, I had blocked that out completely.
Yeah.
I should have stopped having parties after that.
Now, the parties that you guys had, was it a bonfire? Is that what it was? And it was just like a big band party?
Up until that part, it was a really awesome party.
Yeah, it was a bonfire hayride. No bonfire on the hayride. They were 2 separate events. And we would do it at the end of marching season because we were crazy. And nobody, I mean, who doesn't want to stand around in a field in late November?
That's what you do.
Bunch of teenagers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'd go do it tomorrow.
Mom and Dad were...
Let's go right now.
Yeah, sure. We still have the field.
We have a book we can
Let's do it.
Yeah, we do.
You've got to burn that book.
And you started it.
I started it my junior year.
And I continued it. And my senior year, it was not a very good party because everybody had quit. Yeah, it's true. I'm like, wow, this is...
So yeah, when I was in band, there would be these big band parties. I mean, to the point, it was written on the board, party at so-and-so's house. And so, like, I want to host one of these. I don't know why, being the introvert that I am, that I wanted to host a band party. But, so I did it in May of my sophomore year and invited people over, and a lot of people came. And then, for whatever reason, we came up with the idea of doing a bonfire and hayride at the end of marching season. Cool. And so I had...
So we'd get the lights and the generator from the band and have them out in the field, and then Dad would run the wagon, and
some people would hide in the trees and jump out and try to scare people.
I don't remember any of that. I remember the bonfire, and I remember your car running off the road, but I don't remember
and
too much.
Out of it, and they checked him out.
Yep.
And then he got in Rachel's car with a bunch of other people, and she ran off the side of a bridge and then fell down into the creek.
Yep.
Hers was worse than yours?
Actually, no, she didn't fall in the creek. It was the bridge, and it was an unmarked bridge.
A culvert. Yeah.
And so basically, I mean, she was in that big old Lincoln.
Yeah.
And so the car went from end of the bridge, of the culvert. And so the right wheels went off, and so the belly of the car ended up on the ground, and none of the tires were touching it.
I heard that she went over sideways into the
No. I saw it. No.
Okay.
And so, but then getting her out was the problem because it was a culvert and it was a big drop off on either side. So they had to do up this winch and get like 2, I don't know what chains, one on the front, one on the back, and then they scooted the car back up. So I'm sure they destroyed the underneath of that car.
But it wasn't on the bridge anymore.
It's not on the bridge anymore. It took them forever to get that car up.
Was that an all-night thing or something?
I mean, it was done. I mean, we were finished by 2 in the morning.
Wow. Yeah.
Did they have to tow you, Mark?
We
next
left
morning.
Your car.
They left it till the next morning when they came back.
In the fence line.
And so
they pulled it out with the tractor and they took it with a tow truck.
I think Dad pulled it out with the tractor.
Yeah, he pulled it out with the tractor where the tow truck could then grab it.
And so the side windows were busted out?
That really should have been the last of the parties. That should have been a sign from God.
Right behind, there was the passenger door, and then there was the support, and then right behind it was where the tree hit.
She was like
cool,
so she's
it indented all the way into about halfway back on the passenger seat, right behind.
Right.
If it had hit the passenger's door, it probably would have killed Chris Autry.
Great idea.
And possibly myself, because I went flying into him. when we hit sideways.
Were you shaking up?
Oh yeah, I was shaking up. But yeah.
They have now chipped and tarred the road, so it's no longer gravel.
Good.
So
And they're
Not
now-
that I'm going to drive it, but
yeah.
You should have one of those band bonfires,
That
you know.
new.
Yeah, let's have a reunion.
to this day,
I never went. I'd have a reunion. bonfire.
to this day, whenever I drive on a gravel road, I think about that,
Aw.
and I'm really
I
like,
don't blame you.
I'm doing 20 miles an hour.
You're breaking
Yeah.
out in a cold sweat.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
in Kansas, there are quite a few gravel roads still, so.